Hi guys, Aman here at Great Indian Food. Hi guys, Aman from Great Indian Food. Hi guys, I'm Aman.
So by now, you've probably realised this is Aman. I met Aman during university and we've been friends since. In the past few years, Aman has gone on to start his own business, Great Indian Food, which is a takeaway restaurant based in Hackney. He's done this at the age of 24, having started his journey cooking out of his kitchen at home and delivering food locally. By watching this video, you'll be able to learn and be inspired from his journey to entrepreneurship.
So Great Indian Food, then how did you get here? So tell us the story.
So to be honest, during COVID, I was working at a restaurant in Mayfair.
Yeah.
Got laid off obviously because restaurants had to close.
Yeah.
And I just thought, you know what, I might as well do something during COVID instead of just sitting at home doing nothing. We had all the equipment, had a separate kitchen, so I started up a home delivery system. I was delivering, cooking, doing the accounting, doing everything A to Z.
Yeah.
And it kind of got to a point where I kind of reached my capacity as to how many customers I could serve. Because obviously I was only on my own.
Yeah.
I was cooking everything, delivering everything, so I could only do maybe like 10 to 15 orders a day. And I knew that wasn't really sustainable to manage. Like, I needed more income coming.
So how did you go from cooking at home to finding and getting a place in London? Like, tell me that process.
To be honest, luckily this place, we actually own the property here.
Awesome.
So it was a perfect fit for us. In this area in Hackney, there's actually no Indian restaurants, no Indian takeaways.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a few as you go a bit further out, Stoke Newington, in Homerton, but in Hackney itself, there isn't anything.
Okay.
So there was a big gap in the market here, we saw.
Knowing what you do now, what advice would you give in terms of someone that wants to open a restaurant?
Yeah.
Location-wise, what are some of the key things that you need to look for?
Definitely you look for your competition.
Yeah.
See what's there already. You need to see the buying power of your customers.
Okay.
Because that really determines what you put on your menu, how you price it. Because the thing with Great Indian Food, we use top quality meat, top quality products, because we know the customers would rather pay extra for better quality food.
You're very knowledgeable about all this stuff.
To be honest, when I started, I wasn't.
How did you what did you do at the very start? How did you learn? How did you outfit an entire kitchen?
You know what? There's so many things that I changed about this kitchen now because I know so much more. But it was just speaking to the right contractors. I know a few like executive chefs in quite big restaurants as well, which obviously helped.
Yeah.
And the chef that I've got on board now, he's worked in some big restaurants, so he kind of drew out the plan of what we needed to do. For a next fit out, we'd optimize the kitchen more. So for example, putting things like the tandoor and the fryer next to each other. So one guy can man both sections.
Yeah.
Instead of having one person for fryer, one person for tandoor, we could have one man.
You've got to think about like your floor plan. How are people going to walk from one thing to another? Are they going to get in the way of each other?
That's why actually the film, The Founder.
I was just thinking that, the McDonald's one.
I watched it, and when I came here originally, when it was like just rubble, I literally came with spray paint and drew everything out. I measured everything so people could get past. I had to account for people who are a bit skinnier, people who are a bit bigger, so they could get past each other and it wouldn't be too much.
And that's something like a lot of people wouldn't actually think about, but I guess it could impact you when you're busy, right?
100%.
You know, if you've got people walking into people, it's just going to slow things down, isn't it?
Here you've got about 3 tables and you've got like 4 seats per table and stuff. So would you, on average, did you have to figure out how long will someone spend sitting on a table when it's busy?
Yeah.
And like, would you, for example, you got a fridge in the corner, would it be worth moving the fridge and having another table? I'm guessing you've done all this math, right?
Yeah. So to be honest, the reason why we've got this many seats is because when you got more than this, you also need to offer a customer toilet. In terms of the time at the table, that's why I've chosen these chairs. Because the stools, they're not super comfy. Yeah. But we want people in and out. Because if you look at like McDonald's, they don't have sofas and lounge chairs. They want people in and out to turn it around quickly. Yeah. So that's why we went for this as well.
You started cooking at home. Yeah. Right. How did you get your first customers at home?
First customers were like family, friends that we knew in the area. And then we did a lot of advertising on Facebook, local groups and stuff, just to let people know that we're here. And then to be honest, it was kind of like word of mouth. So within the first couple of months, we had quite a slow start. Okay. Family, friends, and then doing 1 or 2 catering parties. I mean, catering parties really help for us because you're not just one customer, you've got like 50 customers there.
And really, you've got 50 more potential customers,
exactly.
Right?
You're not also spending money on anything.
I always leave my leaflets, leave my business cards so people know where the food's from, how to contact me and stuff
100%.
like that.
Okay. It's really important getting yourself out there. Yeah. So coming here obviously is a big risk.
Yeah.
Compared to being at home, I'm guessing you had a lot of the equipment already.
Yeah.
Like the spices you were saying, everything was at home. So it wasn't like you were going out and spending too much when you were here, right? here's a lot of capital that you
There
put
is.
down, right? So did you feel that risk?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it didn't really set in till the first day we opened, and I was like, whoa. Like, when the whole building thing was happening, it was cool. But yeah, like the first day was a big shock. Like, this is it.
So the day that you opened, what did you do to get customers through the door?
I mean, to be honest, before we opened, we had huge stickers on the windows showing people we're coming soon.
Yeah.
We're putting an opening date on our Instagram. So we put an offer on the window as well. Scan this QR code and get a free taster. So basically, they'd register, they give us their details when they get a free
Did
taster.
many people do it?
Yeah, because to be honest, we did it as like followers and you get a free taster.
Yeah.
So before we opened, we got about 450 followers, which was good. So we had a little bit of a fan base. And to be honest, the people who scanned the QR code are all local to here. So it was perfect for us. So when we started, we had like 450 people, which we could market to, which was good. We put in.
You said about your social media, and I know that you do a lot on social media, and how kind of important is that to growing your customer base, and has that really helped you get more people in?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, in the last couple of months, I've just hired a new manager for social media, and it's really helped with our followers, our interactions, and people actually coming through the door being like, "Oh, I saw that video. Can I try that?"
So you think like social media is a really good tool to get more people in? Okay,
but it has to be targeted at the right area.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you're doing like a paid promotion, you need to be doing it in your area, and not just targeting the whole of London, because you might get a few customers from there, but people might just see it in South London and be like, "Oh yeah, cool. I'm probably never going to come to East London."
Yeah.
So doing it in Hackney really helps us, and people are like, "Oh, it's only around the corner for me," so they can relate to where we are and stuff as well.
I remember as well. So like when we first came in, right, you do the Google review. I think it's a QR code there, or So like normally, like you leave like QR codes around for Google reviews, and you'd always try to customers that. And how important has that been? Because I think you had like, I don't know if you still do, but like 5 stars and like hundreds and hundreds of reviews, all 5 stars.
I mean, to be honest, it helps so much.
Yeah.
I do ask customers like on a daily basis, "How did you find out about us?"
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Oh, we just typed in good food near us."
Okay.
And we come up quite high because of the ratings.
So what happens when you get, let's say, a negative review? How do you deal with that as a business owner?
I mean, to be honest, the first thing I do is kind of speak with the team. We set a meeting and we address the point.
Yeah.
See what went wrong, because sometimes they're genuine reviews, sometimes they're not genuine reviews.
Yeah.
Sometimes the customer's got their order 5 minutes late and they say, "Oh, it was half an hour late, it was cold, it was this." But we have to take every review as if it's genuine.
Okay.
So we sit down step by step, see what went wrong, see what we can do to rectify the problem.
So you're like really careful about your brand image and making sure that everyone has a good experience. Okay.
Do you think it's important as someone who's like owning a restaurant or a takeaway, right? Do you think they need to be able to cook themselves?
Myself, the owner.
You think it's important?
I think it's very important that you should have the basic understandings of what needs to be done.
Okay.
Because like myself, I've been cooking since a young age.
Yeah.
If anything happens in the kitchen, one of my chefs are ill, I can fit in like that.
Yeah.
Because I can't afford for someone to be ill and then my business have to close for the day.
Yeah.
So would you recommend to someone, getting into this business to be successful, you really need to have a passion for food? It's not just a business thing.
The thing is, it's not easy. It's very, very hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I only really discovered that in 2-3 months in. It was so hard. It's like it's the most difficult thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
So you need to have that constant drive to want to get your goals. You need to write down like what you want to achieve in 3 months, 6 months, and a year.
Take me through kind of like what's been the most difficult and challenging experience since opening the takeaway, and on the counter side of that, what's been your best experience since having this?
Okay. So to be honest, while being here, I never used to cover like the curry section.
Yeah.
Meaning like heating everything up, getting everything ready, serving it, sending it out.
Yeah.
One day, one of my chefs was ill, and he fell ill about 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Dinner shift starts at 5:30. I had no one to cover. I couldn't get an agency staff in because it's too late notice, and I couldn't close because that's the last thing I want to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Let me just try it. What's the worst that can happen? I know how it's supposed to taste.
Yeah.
I might be a bit slow, but I did it. And I was like, you know what? I'll give him tomorrow up as well. Tomorrow. So I did tomorrow as well. And then I just got used to it.
Yeah.
How do you, when you're starting off, how do you decide what's on your menu?
To be honest, when we started, I want to put items which people are familiar with.
Okay.
So I have the staples like butter chicken, biryani, and things like that. But then I also want to put my dishes on, which I want people to become familiar with.
Okay.
I want people to know.
Something unique to your place.
Yeah, exactly. So things like the crispy spinach chard.
Yeah.
It isn't something everyone's heard of, but when they try it, they're like, that's really good. I like it again. In terms of how many dishes we should have, I mean, I didn't want to go super huge on the menu.
Yeah.
Because everything is obviously made in-house, everything's made fresh.
Yeah.
And the bigger the menu, the more difficult it is to keep it fresh, the more difficult it is to make it on a daily basis.
So you want to give your customers choice, but the trade-off there is, can you actually manage that in the kitchen?
Yeah, and because I want everything to taste different.
Yeah.
All of our curries have got different bases, different sauces.
Okay.
It's not like one sauce for everything.
Yeah. Does the area that you're in, does it kind of change how you have to spices in the food, things like that, the palate? Like you have to kind of cater to the area that you're in as well?
Yeah, 100%. It's very important because in the beginning we kind of went everything super mild.
Okay.
And we have customers coming in saying, can I have it extra spicy? I'm like, you're going to regret that. Once I had a customer, he said, can I have it extra spicy? So I made it extra spicy. And he's like, can I have it more? You feel all right. I made it more. And then I was just watching him. I was like, yeah, you eat that now. So no, we do have a lot of customers who want it more spicy.
Yeah.
So
I guess now we're at a point where we've got all these other delivery services, right? So you're a takeaway, you've got delivery, Uber Eats, these things that are kind of accessible to you. How do you use apps like that and find that they're good for you, or are they quite difficult?
I mean, to be honest, setting them up isn't too difficult. The guys on the team are always very helpful.
Yeah.
Setting things up. And then you kind of get onboarded. You send them a copy of your menu.
Okay.
They'll upload everything for you.
And how does that work? So do you get like a separate tablet that takes orders?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So at the moment, we've got a separate tablet for Uber, Deliveroo, and Just Eat.
So you're on all three?
Yeah, we're on all three, but we're working on an integration so we can have everything on one tablet.
So out of all the delivery service platforms, which would you say there's a favourite, one that performs the best, or?
I mean, it depends on the month because when we started, Uber was doing the best. It was the strongest platform for us. As we've gone on, Deliveroo has caught up with Uber as well, and sometimes it exceeds the sales with Deliveroo.
Okay.
So yeah, it just depends on the month.
Do you get much revenue from there compared to your in like restaurant service?
I mean, to be honest, when it comes to any delivery platforms, you're always paying a commission.
Yeah.
So with Uber, Just Eat, Deliveroo, we're all paying commissions.
Yeah.
Some of them go to about 42%, including VAT.
Did you have to change your pricing for them platforms?
We do, because otherwise, if we wouldn't, we wouldn't be breaking even.
Yeah.
We'd actually be in a loss on some of the items.
Why use their services rather than hiring a delivery driver?
So to be honest, we do both. We've got our own delivery driver and we use them. But I use Deliveroo, Uber Eats as, I think of it as a marketing expense.
Okay.
Because it gets our brand out there to places that I wouldn't ever go to.
Because people are searching Uber for food.
Exactly.
So I guess it's a marketing expense that's also going to generate you revenue. So
You have to think of it like it is a marketing expense
Yeah.
because, you do lose a lot in commission.
Yeah.
But by using their site, you're reaching a lot more customers.
So you don't have to pay to host it, right?
No.
You don't
Just
pay a monthly
commission on the orders.
But that's perfect, and that's free marketing if no one orders. And
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
But even if
Right,
someone orders, you're still not making a loss.
Yeah.
Like, sure, they're taking commission, but you're not making a loss.
what other marketing kind of techniques have you used? What do you do to market the takeaway?
Yeah. So when we started, we did a big leaflet drop. We did about 75,000 leaflets.
And so leaflets at the start, and then where do you kind of go from there?
So going forward from there, we do a lot of marketing on Uber and Deliveroo as well.
Okay.
So you can do things like put promotions on there, like spend £20, get £5 off.
Yeah.
In store, we do competitions and giveaways, which also bring in more customers.
Okay.
We also work regularly with bloggers and influencers to reach out to their audience. So people.
So you think that a lot of these, is that kind of like a really good thing to use, like the food influencers and Instagram accounts, right?
Yeah. Because their following, when we get a blogger on board, we always make sure their following is relevant.
Yeah.
Because we don't want someone with 20,000 followers, but they're all in India.
Yeah.
We want people who are over here.
Yeah.
So we tend to go for like student bloggers who have got a lot of student friends in local universities.
What's been the best moment since having this place?
Best moment last year around Christmas time. I wasn't at the restaurant. I was local nearby, and my staff called me and said, "I'm you close." And I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" He said, "Can you come?" And I was like, "Why?" He said, "It's just too busy." I'm like, "What do you mean it's too busy?" He's like, "Oh, we've got people standing outside waiting to come in."
Look at you, the queue.
I'm like, bloody hell! I quickly got in the car, came here. All the tables were full.
Yeah.
There was about 10, 15 people waiting for an order.
Yeah.
There was 2 lots of tables waiting outside to sit inside. We had Uber constantly pinging. I said, just shut that thing off for a minute, because that's the first time we've had to pause Uber because it was just too busy.
So for someone that wants to start a business, whether it be a takeaway, a shop, restaurant, anything, what's the one piece of advice that you'd give to them?
You need to have the passion. You need to have a clear vision of what you want, when you want to achieve it by. And I think writing down those goals is very important so you can kind of stay on track. You can see where you've reached, what you need to do, and also don't be shy to reach out to people who are in the field already. I've gained a lot of knowledge by speaking to experts in the field, and yeah, just don't be shy. Reach out, get help where you can, and keep your eyes on the goal. Just keep pushing to get to the goal, keep where you want to get to, and don't give up.